Hey, it's Tia, baby. And I am back with a quick video. So, I have gotten a message on IG from a supporter in reference to a Perez interview with Vega, aka, I believe, looks like a carbon copy of A, B, C, D, F, G. Quintanilla. Not in a bad way. I mean, he does look a lot like him and sounds like him. And I mentioned that before. But before I go into that, I want to thank everyone for your support, even though I haven't been putting out a lot of content. As you all know, and those that don't know, that I'm expecting, I can have this baby probably any day now. I don't know. I'm almost approaching my 9th month. And yeah, so last week, if you don't follow me on IG, I posted some pictures of my baby shower and stuff like that. I may post like maybe 1 or 2 in this video. I may. But check that out. Yeah, so I'm going to briefly talk about the interview. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched like at least maybe like 20-30 minutes of it. It was mainly talking about, you know, his beginnings of who his musical influences were, what kind of music he was into, that most of his music influences came from his mom growing up, because she was listening to a variety of music like classical, pop, and then he got the rock influences from his cousins on his dad's side, and then it just grew from there. And then he briefly talked about how he got into the Los Dinos, and when he was working with Shelly Largis and all of that. So then I had fast forward, you know, some more, because I wanted to hear about, you know, the Selena thing. So he talked about his relationship with Selena. In my opinion, in this interview, I feel like he's still holding back. And I feel like it's because the family is still in his brain. And he has to, I'm not going to say he has to watch what he say, but I think he just feel like out of common courtesy, he should watch what he say. Because you know how that family is. Certain people in that family, they take any and everything out of content, and they try to, you know, do things like sue or block or bash or whatever. So he tried to be mindful of he still tried to be mindful of what he say and how he say things when he talks about his relationship with them and his, you know, marriage and his, you know, relationship with Selena. Now, in my opinion, I feel like you're grown. It's been some years. Yes, okay, you're taking a risk of, you know, possibly stirring up something with the family, but that's their business. If they want to feel like they got to attack or whatever, then obviously there's something that's hidden for them to go and attack. Because if it's nothing, if it's innocent, like it claims to be, then why they keep attacking people and him? So it must be something they hiding. But I feel as though, you know, you speaking your truth about your relationship and your marriage with Selena and your relationship with them, then say it. Don't sugarcoat it. Just say it. Don't be afraid. It's freedom of speech. You're a grown man. You can say what you want. Yes, still be mindful. Don't try to bash anyone. And I feel like that's not in his nature to bash people. But just tell your truth. Like, I just felt like he kept pausing. Like, he had long pauses because it's like he's trying to think of how to twist it to make it sound more appeasable to them. F them. And how they don't think about him when they bashing him, or when they blocking people, or when they saying this and that about different people that talk about Selena. They don't think about being courteous and common courtesy to their feelings or whatever. They don't think about it. They just go in. So you go in for your girl. Like, come on, go in for Selena. Like, for real, forget how they feel. Forget how they feel. They don't think about how you feel when they do all these little immature things in the social media or whatnot, or in the courtroom or whatever. So F them. I mean, I know he's trying to be the bigger person, which is a great thing, and he has, experienced a lot of blessings because of that. But sometimes, when we want to hear about the real deal, Holyfield, when it comes to that family and when it comes to your relationship with Selena, let it out. Let it out. The truth shall set you free. Let it out. F how they feel, because it don't matter at this point. So he talks about that. I just felt like he was still holding a lot back, because I feel like ABCDFG, Susie Q, and the dictator is like planted in the back of his mind, where he gotta feel like he gotta watch what he say and how he say things, because I really feel like deep down he doesn't want them to hate him, that he doesn't want them to dislike him, that he wants things to go, which he said in the interview, that he hopes and that he thinks that things will go back to normal soon. I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know if he meant, by like the, court wants the things settled or what, or if dictator, Lord forbid, if something happened to him, that's when things will smooth out, because it's mainly him that's controlling everything. But I don't think dictator will, make things go back to normal, because that just seems like that's not in his character. He made it known just by the way he act that he has hatred for Chris, that he doesn't like him or him talking about Selena or whatever. Like, even before Selena died, he made it known. Whether he said it, it was how he act. So I don't know what he meant by that, but I mean, it's great that he still have hope for that family. And he said he still loves that family and he still consider them family. And that's, very mature for him, despite of the things and how they treated him. But I don't know if that's how they really feel about him. Obviously not, because, Susie acts like she don't like him. She excludes him and stuff like that. Dictator, we already know. And ABCDFG, he consider him that person. He's being immature and not saying his name. And I thought that he was one of the civilized ones that still kind of was cool with him. But he goes back and forth. So I don't know. I've heard that he was bipolar. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I heard. So maybe that's a bipolar thing. One minute he like him, one minute he don't. One minute he act like he don't know who he is. Whatever. I don't know if that's a medical thing or that's just him just being petty. It could be a combination of both. But he talked about that. He also talked about his opinion about the series. I wish he would have went more into detail about how he felt about the series, because I really felt like he didn't like it. But he was saying he's trying to take the diplomatic way, which is cool. But like I said in the beginning, F how they feel. Say how you feel. Say it with your chest, man. You a grown man. Don't let them motherfuckers trick you into saying things that you don't feel comfortable saying. F them, because they don't care about how you feel, so don't care about how they feel to a certain extent. If you didn't like the series, then say you didn't like it, because that's how I feel. That's the vibe that I got from him, that he didn't like the series. And then when he said story, to me that's like lies. Like that's their version of the story, which is not the truth. And he said he wanted to help, but I mean, he understood that they may not have wanted him to help, or may not think that they needed him. Yes, they did, because he was a great part of that era. I mean, come on. You made him look like he was a psychopath in that movie, in that series. They made him look like he was possessive. They made him look like he was jealous, a jealous person. They made him look totally opposite than what he was. He was not a jealous person. Now, I will say, I felt like he was a very sensitive person. And I'm glad that he mentioned in the interview that he was actually hurt when the fans were booing him when she thanked him as her husband or whatever. Because I would have, if it was me, I would have got hurt. I would have been hurt. I would have probably cried, backstage, and I probably would have been pissed, because I'm like, dang, it's like that, like, for real. I'm already dealing with, backlash from the family, then you got fans booing me. I know that could have been embarrassing for him because it was on national TV, and then everybody booing him. I know he probably felt very small back then, and I'm glad that he mentioned that. And I mean, even though he said now he can laugh at it, but back then it was like it was really hurtful. And I'm glad he mentioned that, because I would have been very embarrassed and hurt. And but I'm glad that more people, as time went on, have supported their marriage, their relationship, and more in love with them now than they were back then. But I wish that he got that treatment and that support back then, because he really needed it. But that's because he even said that he felt like he wasn't vocal about, or passionate about, letting people know the real deal between them two. And that probably could have helped in terms of people being more supportive of them. But I guess he was just being a trooper for the family, because they didn't want them exploiting their relationship in the public eye, when they're doing their gigs and stuff like that. But I feel like love is love. So what? Like, look at Suzette. She got married to somebody while they were in the band. Like, what the fuck? And so did ABCDFG. So why couldn't they? So what? Love is love, and they had it. It wasn't affecting anything. But I mean, I feel for him, because I know that was a daily struggle every day to wake up not feeling any type of support, or not feeling like anybody was in their corner, when all they wanted to do was just be with each other and be in love and share a life with each other and have these amazing plans with each other, and people not being supportive, especially the family. It's a huge stress. And I'm sure he was stressed every day, especially when at times he probably wanted to, say how he feel, but chose not to, because of, he didn't want to mess things up with the family, or even, mess his career up or anything. So or think he would make things worse. So he just kept it all hidden. And it's just like, that's a heavy load to deal with every day. And it's not fair. They were grown as men and women. They were grown. It wasn't like they were kids. They were grown. They should be entitled to love who they want to love. And if they want to love each other, let them. And it was just not fair. It's not fair how they treated him. But it's all said and done. That was mainly what the interview was about. I just felt like, I said, overall, that he should have been more vocal about what they went through and what he went through. It felt like he was holding a lot back, and I can understand it, because the family is like still attached to his shoulder, and he's just trying to save face and trying to make things civil, keep things civil. But I'm just, like I said, they don't think about that when it comes to him or other people, so he shouldn't be thinking about that anymore. Like, you see how they did him? F them. For real. Say how you feel. I hope that one day he can make his own series and we can see his side of the story, because I'm sure it's going to be a lot of juicy details on his side of the story. And maybe that's why he's withholding a lot in the interviews, because he may have a plan where he's going to one day produce and showcase his own series or movie based on his relationship and marriage between him and Selena, and his interaction with his family, and we'll see everything. So maybe that's why he's not really saying a lot. And if that's it, then cool. I can't wait to watch it. But that's all I have for today. Like I said, I will make content. It may not be consistent right now because I have a lot on my plate, and also because I'm not motivated enough right now, because I'm dealing with a lot. Not in a bad way, but school, work, baby, and personal things. So, but bear with me and stay patient with me, and I'm happy and elated that you all are still on my corner regardless of the change and stuff like that. And I will come back with another video soon. Peace.